The watered down version, not the footnote in Egypt's story. Let's be honest, Egypt was feeling some sort of way in their description of the Kush people. I'm talking about the sovereign South, a black empire that ruled, traded, worshipped, and buried its dead with purpose. Romans and the Greeks feared them. Learning another language while possibly knowing multiple languages and dialects, all was necessary to be able to have the trade intersection that they had. Kush rose around 1700 BCE, rooted in cattle. They were proud cattle people. They placed divine worship to the cattle. The royals would be buried with steer and pottery and jewelry. By 1070 BCE, after Egypt's collapse, Kush took its power back, establishing Napata near sacred Jebel Barkal, where the ram headed god Amun was worshipped. That mountain wasn't just rock, it was throne, it was temple. They built pyramids steep, sharp, unapologetic, smaller than Egypt's, but no less sacred. Amera, rows of royal tombs declare their legacy. Burial wasn't just tradition, it was testimony. Kings and queens were laid to rest with gold, pottery, and prayer to Osiris. Kush, being the cattle people, being herders, this was their economy. It was their identity, their wealth, walked on four legs. And they had iron, gold, incense, and they traded it all. By 600 BCE, Meroe was booming with iron forges and trade routes stretching to Egypt, Rome, and sub-Saharan Africa. Their gods were fierce, epidemic. The lion god of Kush was depicted uh, at times with a lion head and a serpent body, three lion heads with four arms, derivative maybe of Indian culture and beliefs. Now let's talk about the women in Kush. Women didn't just stand by side kings; they stood as kings. The Kandaki or Kanda's pronunciation differs depending on where you're from, or simply Queen Mother held military and spiritual authority. Power passed through her bloodline. That's maternal, it's like maternal, maternal, lineal succession. That's a legacy rooted in womb and wisdom. Queen Amunarinas, ruling around 40 BCE, faced off against Rome. When Augustus tried to invade, she delivered an impressive amount of arrows into his city with a note that basically said, "We could be friends. Here's some arrows. Be cool. But if you don't want to, you want to go to war? Oh, you're gonna need those." Uh, that she definitely placed fear in the heart of men. She led her army, defeated the Romans, and buried his statuesque head beneath her battle steps. Let me tell you, y'all think men are ruthless. Men will tell you something different, I bet. As a reminder to her people, and especially to her enemies, that you are beneath our feet. That wasn't just war, that was ritual. And then you have another queen, Amani Shako, ruling around 20 BCE, was buried with gold, lion, iconography, and inscriptions that declared her divine. These weren't consorts, these were commanders. Even Egypt bowed to Kushite queens. Around 715 BCE, Amarneridas the first, daughter of King Kashta, was installed in Thebes as high priestess of Amun. That's cross border. Let's pay attention here. That's black rule. In return, they would live tax free, be paid in gold, and have land and cattle, and have a place in the actual kingdom. Kushite archers were elite, skilled, and unfortunately for hire, because they have been an elitist, don't say elite. They've been an elite group for what, centuries at this point. But all good things must come to an end. The empire falls. 590 BCE, Pharaoh Psammaticus II sacked Napata. Kush moved his capital to Meroe. The land started to fight back. Iron production burned through the forest. Soul grew tired, crops thinned, so that main trade shifted. The loss of iron as a trade was a mighty blow to the Kushites. Roman Axiom rose. Axiom came around 330 CE, invaded Mera, crushed what was left. The temple fell silent, the pyramid stood, no voices. In 592, Pharaoh Semitic II. Now, this is how petty they are. Let's just get off script for a second. 592 BCA, Pharaoh Semitic comes in. You've already been crushed. You already have ruin around you. Some establishment of people are gathered together still as a cultural community. But he was so revengeful that he took when they were down and said, "Oh, they're almost down, almost out. Let me come in and sweep it out." And that's exactly what he did. He came down into the deep Nubia, Kush, and looted the temples, destroyed the royal statues, and hacked out the names and emblems of the 25th dynasty kings in quote, Karnak Victory Stela. This is what he bragged about on his stela. This was not just conquest, it was erasure. So for anybody to tell me that the dark stone depicting men and women with big noses and big lips is anything but the 25th dynasty, we're going to have a problem. Because the dynasty after that wanted to erase them. So why would they continue to use dark stone when they knew that the 25th dynasty used it, that they hated? So make it make sense. I don't like being grouped into late dynasty because there was too much conflict for them to be grouped together. So let us no longer make the Kush vanish. Let us dig them up. Let us refile them. No longer left behind. And own it. The Kushites ruled Egypt as the 25th dynasty.